Hello, my beautiful people and beautiful friends. It's Celia Mutuningzingele here again. If you come across this video for the first time, welcome and please subscribe. Believe me, most of the things that you're gonna hear here are gonna benefit you and others. Keep sharing, guys. If you're returning again for another time and maybe the 18th time, thank you so much. I do appreciate you trusting in me and keeping to come back here over and over again and spending your data. Keep sharing so that others can also learn something from here. Yesterday I made a video where I was talking about the things I went through after my marriage, how to get back to your feet, the challenges that you meet up with after leaving a relationship. I gave my story time about how I even ended up being a gambling addict in an effort to comfort myself, number one. Number two, to try and get money to pay all the debts that I was getting through little by little. Before I knew it, I was this much in debt. And then in the hope of maybe I can win something big that can help me get out of those debts, I found myself gambling. And I did tell you that I ended up blocking myself. So I want to repeat this again, and I want to give a little bit of information as to how to block up yourself from a gambling institution anywhere in the country. We're talking about official gambling facilities in the country do have offices in which you can go to, and if you go there, you can even start at the desk, because you wouldn't know sometimes those offices because they are not so obvious, remember, because these financial institutions don't want people to leave them, because they also make money out of us gamblers. So if you are a gambler out there, let me give you an idea as to how to get out of there if you really do want to get out of there, because I know many gamblers' lives get damaged by the time they spend there and the money they spend there. Now you can start at the desk where you are making cards. Right at the desk, you can go and tell them, I would like to block myself, and then they will take you to some office, which most of the time is not an obvious office that you see among here. It's some office that is somewhere at the back or somewhere not in an obvious space. So you get into that office and they would ask you, why do you want to block yourself? Give them a reason. Be honest. Tell them, this is my reason for wanting to block myself. And then they will make you fill forms. Those forms block you from gambling at any official gambling place in the country. All the gambling places in the country, you block yourself. And then you fill those forms, and then, because they do have, I think they did have forms that they can block you only at that gambling place. But it's wise to block yourself from all the gambling places, because if you are a gambling addict, you are like a drug addict. If your drug is not found next door, you don't mind going 50 miles just to go and find a joint or whatever you may call it. So blocking yourself from the gambling place that's close to you is of no help, because there will be nothing blocking you from going to other gambling places, because there are many in the country. So it's wise to fill the forms that allow you to block yourself from gambling everywhere. Unfortunately, with that option, you cannot even win lotto, the ordinary lotto. You can't. So you can play lotto, because when you go and play lotto, no one is going to ask you for an ID until you win. When you win, then that's when and depending of how much you won, then they would want an ID. So for the lotto, if you play the lotto, you can always give the person, if it ever happens that you win millions, unfortunately it will have to be claimed by the person next to you. Yeah, that is the only disadvantage. But what are the chances of us winning lotto in millionaires? Unless you are Osmi Boni, then you get the second chance, first chance and second chance. So you get there, then after filling those forms, they'll still ask you if you're still sure you want to carry on with it. Then you tell them, yes, I still am. And then they will take shots of you. They will take ID photos of you, and they keep them in their records. And then they will block your card from playing there. And then after some time, it will be like from all the gambling places in the country. Even if you can move from one to another, when you get there, when you try to get a card, they will tell you, unfortunately, you are blocked. So at least you can accompany people if you just want to go for fun. Because the problem is, once you get to the gambling addict stage, it's difficult just to go for fun like other people. Other people do go to casinos just for fun. There are other people that do go to casinos just to have a breakfast or take out their friends for lunch and what. But if you are at a stage of a gambling addict, unfortunately, you cannot just go there and end up like that. You feel like playing the machine. So, and once you start, you can't stop. It's just like being an alcoholic. So that is the biggest part that I wanted to talk to you about. And then the next one that I would like to talk to you about is, now, what did I do from there after blocking myself? I tried other means of getting money. I tried selling things. I sell everything that is sellable. Everything from blankets to, you know what, anything that is sellable. Right now I'm making t-shirts. I sell them. I sell sometimes products that smell nice, that makes the house smell nice. I'm just making an example of how to make a living after a divorce or after a serious breakup that had a dual income, and now you are back to having your single income and you are struggling to keep afloat. You have to find things that you can sell. I sold Avon, I sold Justin. I think the only reason I stopped selling them is because Avon was also not so good at bringing the orders that you have ordered. And unfortunately, when they get here and when you tell them, you have to pop up some money to take them back, and it was like, for me, it was too much. But there are people that do well on Avon and Justin, so I'm not saying it's not profitable to. I'm just giving my own perspective of what happened, what made me stop selling Avon and Justin. And because I am a lady and I am that person that likes beauty things, I used most of the things. If they are not sold, I would use them. if somebody did not keep their promise when the order gets here and they don't take it, I would end up using it because it's so expensive to return them than just to pay them off. So you end up not seeing, I ended up not seeing profit in terms of selling them. You can sell Tupperware, you can sell, you can stock Kinsley's. If you have a bigger fridge that you can put in there, you sell, when you buy bulk of Kinsley's and you add 2 rand or 3 rand on top, that's something. Like, as a woman, you've got to think of something. You can even make fat cakes. Guys, we see those women that stand by the corners and selling fat cakes. Why can't you be one of them? So you can. There are things that we can do even if you don't work. Those are things that you can do even if you work. Now that you are at a single income bracket, because now there are things that you are struggling to reach out to, you can supplement your income by trying other means of getting more income. Man, there are so many ways. You can use your hands to do some things. If you're good at making earrings, making bags, knitting, use those skills of yours. If you can learn, you're an easy learner, you can even start learning some skills and use them. You can also use your car as transport for other people. I remember when we broke up, I was lucky because he left me with a Corolla Verso. Corolla Verso has got it's a 7-seater. So I could manage to get passengers that are 6. I would transport people from one place to another. That was another income. So if you're not that lucky to have a car that you can use as a mode of transport to maybe carry people that can give you an extra income, there are other things that you can use. You can sell ice blocks, you can sell popcorns, you can sell those sweet ones as well, majakatata. You can sell mazemba, you can sell sweets for children. You can have, those smalanyana amounts can help with the petty cash that is always needed in the house. You may need bread. You do know that you have a fund for the bread. You may need milk. I've got few cents that I can use to buy milk. So there is a lot as women that we can do after getting out of sorry about that. After getting out of dual income relationship, and that also applies to people who lose their partners, like in death. That also applies to them as well, because now maybe if the husband had a job and was bringing income into the home, but it may take a while before you get funds from his account, that's another way in which you can try and keep afloat by selling things. And one other thing that I would like to beg from our Black community is, let us support each other. Let's support each other. And also, if you're gonna sell food, make sure everything is clean. Make sure your place is clean, because you cannot expect us to come and support you and then we find like your house is. So if you do know that you are not a clean freak, don't sell food. Rather sell things that you know that they are not going to reflect into like people are not supporting me. And actually, people would like to support you, but the space you live in is not as clean as they would like to find it when they come and support you. So gotta sell things, because we are not the same. We cannot be the same. When I'm telling you already, like very as a clean freak, I say, is not a fanatic, you're clean. So avoid selling food if you are like that. Sell all the things that are sellable, but that are not consumable. There are lots of, you can go to Joburg, there are places where you can stock things and come and sell. Hey man, there's a lot that I have tried. I keep trying. If this doesn't work, I move on to the next one. If this doesn't work, I move on to that one. So I keep on doing that, and that is just to keep afloat. And if you're a gambling addict, once you stop, there is some extra income that you're not gonna waste somewhere, then that does help a lot. It makes a difference. It does make a difference a lot. Slowly and slowly you keep pushing on all your debts, and slowly you end up seeing the light after the tunnel. You see that, oh, okay, there's some light coming. But all I can tell you, I can assure, is that you are brave to leave a relationship that is toxic. You're also brave to survive after a misfortune of losing a partner and find yourself alone. But in that bravery, there are negative impacts that goes with it, financial ones, and I'll come and talk about the emotions that you go through as well after leaving a relationship or after losing a partner in death. So like, there is a lot. So once you see a woman that has been through a divorce, that has been through a serious breakup, or that has lost their partner in death, respect them, because they are going through hell and they are keeping it together, or they are trying to keep it together. Don't break them even further with your unkind words. Remember, let's all be kind to one another, because we never know what people are battling with. There is also psychological aspects to these things that are keeping us at, sometimes you find like you are at the end, you feel like, I'm just this close to giving up on this life and just giving myself poison and end it all. So be kind, because you never know the person that you are unkind to, what they are battling with at that time. Whatever you do to them may give them the last push or may save them. So it's up to you. Whenever you approach anyone, remember that if you are unkind to them, you may give them the last push. But if you are kind to them, you may find that day they were planning something and you were the savior for the day. So it's up to you to choose how to treat people. Sometimes it's okay to walk away when people act up, because you never know exactly what's making them to act up the way they do. Thank you so much for watching this live. I do know that I wasn't prepared for this, but I felt like I need to say something to you today, just to keep the consistency, because I'm also not feeling well. I'm just feeling down today, and I will also show my feelings, because these are part of the things that we're all going through. I'm also going through even now. So there are times when I've got no energy for anything, like today. I slept a lot after coming back from work, and I just woke up not so long ago, and I've got no energy. But I felt like, let me just come and speak to the women out there and the men out there, because there are men who are going through exactly the same thing as us. But lucky enough, men, when they decide to move on, usually it's faster than women. So they don't dwell on the pain for long like us women. Keep the strength. It's difficult, but I know we'll manage, we'll carry on, we'll support each other forward. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Don't forget to share, to like, to set the notification bell, and remember, subscribe. Right now we are aiming for 1,000 subscribers so that this YouTube channel can grow even better. From there, we'd know that, okay, we are doing something right. Please keep sharing, and remember, I love you guys. I love you a lot. Thank you for the support. Thank you for your data. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything. Bye-bye and good night.